You're listening to Paradox Eclipse Theory, and this is superheroes in the dark multiverse, when gods became monsters. In shadows where heroes once stood, something twisted now breathes. When light dies, even the strongest fall, and what rises in their place knows only hunger. If you're enjoying this descent into darkness, smash that like button, subscribe, and share this video with fellow Creepypasta fans. Drop a comment below. Your support helps this channel grow and brings more stories from the void. Now sit back, dim the lights, and let's begin. I should have run the moment I heard it breathe. Not roar, not groan. Breathe. A slow, heavy, dimensional inhale that rattled the metal under my boots and made the lights flicker like reality was afraid to stay visible. I'd heard monsters breathe before. Hell, I had been one. But this was different. It was like someone was sucking the air out of existence and spitting it back incorrupted. I remember thinking, that's me. That's what I've become. And for the first time in years, I felt something close to fear. The rift pulsed again, deep, wet, organic. The walls shook, and a metallic taste coated my tongue. My skin prickled like static crawling under it. I whispered to myself, this isn't just a tear. It's alive. The Avengers stood around me, tense, bracing themselves as the anomaly widened. Thor gripped his hammer so tight the handle groaned. Carol hovered with light building around her fists. Natasha stayed closest to me, eyes darting between the monitors and the rift as if tracking a heartbeat. Her voice broke the silence. Bruce, are you sure you want to be the one standing that close? I didn't lie. I don't know if I'll survive this. The moment I said it, the rift convulsed. A shadow crawled out. Not like smoke. Not like a creature. Like gravity pouring onto the floor. Thick, liquid blackness spread out across the tiles, swallowing reflections, swallowing light, swallowing everything. It didn't splash. It didn't drip. It just moved, pulling on the air like it had weight. The lights dimmed. My heartbeat synced with the pulses coming from the rift. Natasha whispered again, softer this time. Bruce, what is that? I couldn't answer, because as the shadow thickened, it rose, slowly, into a shape I recognized more than my own reflection. Broad shoulders, towering frame, veins glowing through charcoal skin like cracks in volcanic stone. And that heartbeat, deep, thunderous, was the same one inside my chest when the other guy surfaced. I thought, that's me from another universe. But the longer I stared, the more I realized something worse. That's not Banner. That's not Hulk. That's something that survived after they were gone. His eyes opened. Black holes. Not metaphorical. Actual swirling voids, collapsing inward, sprinkled with drifting cosmic dust. Looking into them felt like staring down a universe that had already died. He inhaled again, and I swear I could taste burning metal on my tongue, like starship hulls melting. Then he said my name. Not out loud. Not with breath. Through dimensions. Bruce. My ribs vibrated. My vision blurred. Every instinct I had screamed at me to transform, to defend myself, but my legs refused. Thor stepped forward, voice low. What manner of Hulk is this? The creature's head tilted, cracking sounds echoing through its neck like stone splitting. He pointed at me. You left me. The words weren't angry. They were mournful, accusing, and somehow they cut deeper than any punch ever could. My voice cracked. I don't know you. He leaned in. You will. Thor didn't wait. Lightning exploded across the bunker as he charged. I felt the heat of the strike behind me, bright enough to sear afterimages in my eyes. The lightning hit the Black Hulk and disappeared. No, worse. It flowed into him, absorbed into his veins, making the glowing fissures blaze brighter. Thor muttered through clenched teeth. The creature blurred. 1 second he was in front of us. The next, he was behind me. I felt his breath on my neck. Hot, chemical, like standing inside the core of a burning reactor. Carol shouted, move. But I couldn't. My body reacted too slow. Thor wasn't so lucky. The Black Hulk grabbed him by the face and slammed him downward. The floor buckled. The next strike sent Thor crashing through 5 levels of reinforced steel, each impact echoing like bombs going off under our feet. I shouted, run. But where? The room warped around him. Shadows bent, stretching toward him like vines feeding off a source of gravity I couldn't detect. Tony launched sonic bursts. The air screamed as they tore through the room, but the creature didn't even flinch. The blast just vanished on contact. Swallowed. Natasha emptied every gamma stabilizer round we had. Nothing. He turned toward her, and for a second, something flickered across his features. Recognition? Memory? Pain? I couldn't tell. She backed away, whispering to me, "Bruce, do something." I tried. God knows I tried. I felt the Hulk pushing against my skin, trying to break free, but the presence of this thing suppressed him. Like my other self was terrified. The creature moved again, faster than anything I'd ever seen. One blink, and he was in front of me. His hand wrapped around my chest, not squeezing, just holding. Testing. Feeling my bones protest. His face lowered until I could see the fissures splitting open, magma-bright light burning inside. "He's still in here." My breath hitched. "Hulk," I whispered. The creature's grip tightened just enough to make my vision pop with black spots. "He wants you to run." Then he hurled me. I didn't hit the wall. I hit 3 of them. Each impact flickered the lights off, and on like reality couldn't keep up with the force. When my vision returned, everything was chaos. Tony's armor was half melted. Sparks burst from his chest piece as he struggled to stand. Natasha's left arm hung at an impossible angle. Carol was on the floor, unconscious, energy dimmed. The whole bunker shuddered like it was glitching. The Black Hulk stood in the center, breathing slow. Calm, almost thoughtful. He stared at his hands, trembling, as if trying to recall what human felt like. For a second, hope sparked inside me. Then he lifted his head. No humanity, no banner, no Hulk, just hunger. The rift behind him pulsed, calling him home. He stepped backward toward it, moving with purpose I couldn't understand. He paused once at the threshold, and smiled. Not Hulk's grin. Something colder, smarter. A predator marking its territory. His voice drifted out, softer than before, but echoing in every corner of the bunker. "Your universe will fall next." The rift sealed. The room stopped shaking. The lights returned. But the shadows stayed darker. And deep down, I knew the truth. Bruce Banner didn't die in that universe. He became something else. Something endless. And now, he's coming back for me. I didn't sleep after the rift closed. I didn't even sit. I just stood there in the bunker, staring at the empty space where he disappeared, waiting for the air to thicken again, or the lights to flicker, or my chest to vibrate with that dimensional growl. It didn't happen. That somehow made it worse. Natasha was the first one to speak. "Bruce, you okay?" Her voice was tight, but not from pain. She'd set her broken arm herself, using the wall for leverage. Typical Natasha. I heard myself answer before I even formed the thought. "No." Tony's helmet fell off in 2 pieces as he limped forward. We need data. Specs. Readings. Something. Because whatever that thing was." I cut him off. "He was me." Tony stared at me for a long time. "No. He looked like you." "That's not the same thing." I shook my head. He remembered things. He said I left him. He said Hulk was still inside. That wasn't a copy. That wasn't a clone. That was Banner. A version of me that crossed something he shouldn't have crossed. Thor crawled up from the ruined stairwell, covered in ash and bits of titanium plating. His strength rivals mine, but it is not merely strength. His presence alone bends the shadows. I felt it before he struck. Natasha stepped closer, lowering her voice. "Bruce, what did he want from you?" I didn't know how to answer that. Or maybe I did, and I just didn't want to say it out loud. He wanted to see if I was worth replacing. The alarms finally stopped, leaving a ringing silence in the bunker. Emergency lights bathed the room in red. Every piece of equipment that hadn't been pulverized flickered with corrupted readings. Something about him had scrambled the electronics, the sensors, even the cameras. The footage looked like black ink moving through static. Tony tapped a ruined console. "We have nothing." He didn't show up on radiation scans, thermal scans, energy scans, or, hell, any kind of scan at all. It's like he wasn't made of matter. More like a gravitational anomaly wearing a Hulk. That chilled me more than anything. Natasha turned to me. "Bruce, what did it feel like when he touched you?" I didn't want to remember, but the memory pulled itself forward anyway. It felt like he wasn't solid, like his hand was made of layers. The outside was real, but behind it, something deeper was pushing through. Something hungry. Thor tightened his grip on the railing. Hungry for what? I swallowed. For universes. Tony snorted weakly. "Great. Awesome. Fantastic. A multiversal devourer with biceps." I didn't laugh. No one did. My skin still tingled from where he'd grabbed me. And underneath that sensation, another feeling twisted, Hulk whispering inside my mind, the way he sometimes did when he was scared. Don't open. Don't let him in. Not him. Hulk rarely feared anything. Hearing that tremor in his voice made my stomach tighten. I walked to the scorch mark where the rift had been. The floor panel was melted like someone had pressed a star onto it. I crouched and touched the edge. It was still warm. Natasha stood beside me. He said, "Your universe will fall next." What does that mean? I didn't answer right away. The warmth radiating through the metal felt familiar. Not gamma, not cosmic. Something in between. Something that shouldn't exist. It means, I finally said, he wasn't here to destroy us. He was scouting. Tony's eyes widened. For an invasion? Not an invasion, I said. A feeding. None of them spoke. The air felt thick with dread. Carol woke up slowly, groaning as she pushed herself upright. Is he gone? For now, Natasha said. Carol looked at me. Bruce. I felt something when he hit me. Not power. Not force. Something pulling. Like he was trying to draw energy out of me. I nodded. He absorbs what he touches. Energy. Radiation. Light. Even gravity. He doesn't burn through power like Hulk. He collects it. Tony ran a hand through his hair. Are you saying this guy is basically a walking black hole? I exhaled. No. Black holes stop absorbing once they reach equilibrium. He doesn't. Thor's voice rumbled. Banner, what are you not telling us? I didn't want to say it. Not because it wasn't true, because saying it made it real. I think he consumed his universe. Thor went still. Carol's face drained. Tony let out a thin breath. Natasha stared at the floor. I continued, almost whispering. Maybe gamma radiation didn't mutate him. Maybe it devoured everything else before touching him, and whatever was left became him. Tony sat down hard on a fallen support beam. Okay, so this thing eats universes, and now it knows where we live. Natasha turned to me again. Bruce, why didn't he kill you? I didn't have the courage to say the truth. Because he didn't need to. Because he wanted me afraid. Because he wanted Hulk afraid. Because predators don't kill their own kind unless they have a reason. And he was still deciding if I was worth saving or consuming. I kept my eyes on the melted floor. He said Hulk is still inside him. That means Banner was trapped somewhere in that thing for a long time. Carol stepped closer, wiping dried blood from her face. You think he's still in there? Still conscious? I shook my head. No. What he meant was worse. Natasha whispered, like Hulk is one of the last things he hasn't digested yet. My chest tightened. Yes. Silence again. Heavy. Brutal. Then Tony stood up. We need containment protocols. Bigger than anything we've built before. No. Scratch that. We need evacuation plans. If he can open rifts from his universe to ours, we need to assume he'll return. And when he does, Thor added, he will not return alone. I closed my eyes. The bunker felt colder. Because they were right. The rift wasn't a doorway. It was a test. He wanted to see how strong this version of the Avengers was. He wanted to see how strong I was. He wanted to know what kind of meal he was preparing. Natasha touched my shoulder. Bruce, talk to me. What's happening inside your head right now? The words slipped out before I could stop them. He's calling to me. Tony froze. What do you mean calling? I stepped back from them, gripping the edge of a broken terminal to steady myself. The hum in my bones, the pressure behind my eyes, it hadn't faded since he left. It's like a frequency, I said. A vibration under my skin. Hulk feels it too. It's faint, but it's there. Like he attached something to me when he grabbed me. Carol frowned. A tracker. No. An invitation. Thor's expression darkened. Banner, what does he want you to do? My hands shook. He wants me to open the rift. I didn't tell them how strong the pull felt. Not because I wanted to hide it. Because saying it out loud made it feel like I was already halfway gone. Like the moment the words left my mouth, the rift would rip open on its own and drag me through. Natasha moved in front of me, steady and silent. Bruce, look at me. I did. Her eyes were sharp, unblinking. Grounded. Human. It made the pressure in my skull ease for a second. You're still here, she said. So stay here. I wished it were that easy. Tony was already pacing, boot servos whining. We need countermeasures. Anti-rift dampeners. Maybe force fields tuned to negative gamma frequencies. Can you isolate the signature you're feeling? I shook my head. It's not a frequency. It's instinct. Like something is pulling at the part of me that turns green. Carol walked closer, wiping scorch marks from her suit. Could it force you to transform? It doesn't need to, I said. Hulk is already trying to break out. Not angry, afraid. Thor let out a slow exhale. If even the Hulk fears this creature, then we face a foe unlike any before. Natasha looked at the damaged ceiling. We need to relocate. This bunker is compromised. Tony pointed at me. No sudden moves. If you feel anything, we need to know. I didn't respond. Mostly because the pull had returned, stronger than before, crawling up my spine like cold fingers. Every breath felt heavier. Every blink left afterimages of swirling black energy. Natasha must have seen my expression shift. Talk to me, Bruce. What do you feel? The words felt thick in my throat, like he's standing behind me. Tony's visor snapped shut. Okay, nobody panic. Bruce, is there actually something behind you? I turned slowly. Nothing there. But the shadow in the corner seemed darker, like it stretched an inch closer when I blinked. Carol tensed. Bruce, did it move? No, I whispered. I think I did. Thor frowned. Explain yourself. I placed a hand over my chest. My heartbeat, it's sinking to something. No one spoke. I closed my eyes and listened. One heartbeat, then another beneath it, then another, deeper, larger, older, like echoes inside a cavern. Tony muttered, Banner, your pulse is spiking. I didn't hear the rest. The bunker flickered. Not the lights. The space itself. Just for a second. One frame of reality skipping. The kind of glitch you'd blame on your vision. Except everyone reacted at the same time. Carol grabbed the wall. What was that? Thor steadied himself. Reality bent. Natasha whispered, He's coming back. No, I said. He's pulling. And with those words, the pressure behind my eyes cracked open like a dam. Images slammed into me. Too fast to make sense of, too sharp to ignore. A universe collapsing inward. Stars screaming as they imploded. Planets folding like paper. Civilizations turning into streaks of light. A single figure standing at the center of it all, absorbing everything as it died. I saw myself, but not me. The other me. The one with fissures instead of veins. The one with eyes like collapsing suns. And he looked straight at me across whatever distance separated us. Come home. My knees buckled. Natasha caught me before I hit the floor. Bruce, stay with me. I forced my eyes open. The bunker warped again, one short, sharp flicker. He's not here. I gasped. He's showing me. Tony leaned in. Showing you what? His universe. Carol touched my shoulder gently. Bruce, what did you see? My voice cracked. Nothing alive. No one moved. He ate everything. I whispered. Not out of rage. Not out of instinct. Because his universe was collapsing, and he tried to hold it together the only way he knew how. By absorbing it. But he couldn't stop. And when everything was gone, he kept going. He kept devouring the dark, the void, the laws of physics, until all that was left of him was hunger. Natasha swallowed hard. He wants you to join him. I nodded weakly. Or replace him. Tony cursed under his breath. Not happening. Over my dead suit. The pressure suddenly vanished. Like a rubber band snapping. The bunker stopped flickering. The shadows retreated. My heartbeat steadied. Thor approached slowly. Banner, has he stopped reaching for you? For now, I said. But he knows where I am. And he's getting closer. Not physically, dimensional alignment. He's syncing our universes. Carol's face tightened. We need to sever the connection. We can't, I said. He linked to Hulk. Not to me. Hulk is the bridge. Tony crouched beside me. Okay, then we cut the bridge. Suppress the Hulk. Lock him down. I almost laughed. You can't suppress him if he doesn't want to be suppressed. Natasha leaned closer. Bruce, what does Hulk want? I felt the answer in my bones before I said it. He wants to fight. The bunker shook. Not from impact. From resonance. A low, guttural rumble rolled through the walls, vibrating the air, vibrating my skull, vibrating the shadows. Carol stepped back. Is that? No, I said. That's not him. The sound came again, closer. A dimensional growl. The same one I heard before he emerged the first time. Tony activated repulsors. Positions. Thor lifted his hammer. Prepare yourselves. Natasha drew her sidearm, even though she knew it wouldn't help. I stood slowly. Because the air felt electric. Because the floor was heating. Because the shadows in the far corner weren't shadows anymore. I took a breath. He's opening the rift. A thin, vertical slit of darkness tore open midair. Not bright. Not glowing. Silent. Smooth, like reality being sliced with a blade dipped in night. Carol charged energy in her palms. Everyone ready? I shook my head. No, this isn't an attack. The slit widened, just an inch, and a single hand reached through. Charcoal black, cracked with molten light. Fingers long and heavy enough to dent reinforced steel just by existing. Natasha whispered, "Bruce, what's he doing?" I felt the answer before he acted. Felt it in my ribs. Felt it in my blood. "He's not coming through," I said. "He's waiting." Tony's voice trembled. "For what?" "For me." The hand pressed against the rift's edge, warping the air around it. Not reaching for us, just holding the doorway open like an invitation. Thor stepped between us. "Banner, step back." I didn't, because the hand wasn't reaching toward any of them. Only me. I heard his voice, quiet, threaded through my skull. "Come see." I took one step forward before I realized I'd moved. Natasha grabbed my arm. "Bruce, don't." I didn't look at her. "He's showing restraint. He could come through. He's choosing not to," Tony shouted, "which means he wants something worse." I stayed staring at that hand. "He wants me to understand." Carol moved beside me. "Understand what?" My throat tightened. "That he's not alone." The rift widened one more inch, and in the sliver of darkness beyond it, I saw more eyes. Hundreds. Thousands. Glowing, swirling, collapsing inward like his. Watching me. Waiting. Natasha stepped back, horror in her voice. "There's more of him." I whispered the truth. "No, those aren't him." Tony swallowed hard. "Then what are they?" I exhaled. "His universe. And it's hungry." I wonder where you're watching from tonight. Earth 616 maybe? Or somewhere far darker. Somewhere closer to Universe Black. Drop your city and state in the comments. I like to know just how far the echoes of that charcoal monster still travel. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe before he finds a way to cross into your world next. Stay safe out there. And if you ever see a massive silhouette standing perfectly still in the dark, one that looks like the Hulk, but isn't breathing, isn't blinking, and isn't green, don't call his name. This has been Paradox Eclipse Theory. Until next time, keep your lights on, and pray you never hear that roar from the void.